Someone scrolls through your profile and says, "You have no pictures of yourself." They laugh a little, like it is harmless. But you can hear the question underneath it. Why are you so private? What are you hiding? Why don't you want people to see you? And suddenly, a simple profile becomes a place where people start guessing who you are. You may have photos in your phone, good ones, moments you liked, a version of your face that did not look bad. But when it comes time to post them, something in you pauses. Not because you hate yourself, not because your life is empty, not because you are trying to seem mysterious. You just do not like the feeling of turning a private moment into something people can measure. A photo online rarely stays only a photo. It becomes a reaction count, a comparison, a reason for someone to comment, judge, ask, save, or misunderstand. So you keep it to yourself. And from the outside, that can look strange. But for some quiet people, not posting photos is not about hiding. It is about knowing that not every part of your life needs to be available to everyone. Most people do not mean to interrogate you. They just see an empty profile and get curious. At first, the question sounds small. Why don't you ever post yourself? But suddenly, your private choice has to defend itself in public. Suddenly, a birthday happened, but people expect an album. A good day existed, but somehow it is supposed to have a caption. Even liking how you look in a photo does not mean you want it sitting on the internet. Not for people to zoom into. Not for them to save, compare, or read too much into. The issue is rarely the photo itself. It is what happens after the photo leaves their control. A moment becomes a signal. A face becomes something people can score. A normal life becomes something that seems to need evidence, even when the original day already felt complete before anyone else had a public opinion. And that can feel wrong, even when nobody is trying to be cruel. So no, this does not automatically mean you are insecure, lonely, or antisocial. It may simply mean your life feels more honest when parts of it stay unannounced. If this felt uncomfortably familiar, drop private in the comments. Not to explain yourself, just to let other quiet people know they are not strange for keeping some things off the feed without feeling guilty. There is a strange belief online that visibility means closeness. If people can see your face, they feel like they know something about you. A new haircut, a vacation picture, a mirror selfie, a group photo where someone tags you before you even decide whether you wanted to be there. But being seen is not the same as being known. Someone can like your photo and still have no idea what that day meant to you. They can comment cute and miss the story behind your expression. They can watch your life through little squares and still never ask a question that reaches beyond the image. For quiet people, that difference matters. A photo can make you visible without making you understood. And sometimes, that is exactly what feels uncomfortable. You are not afraid of people seeing that you exist. You may simply dislike the way online attention can turn existence into display. The face becomes easier to recognize, but the person behind it becomes flatter, reduced to angles. Lighting, a caption, a few seconds of judgment. So when quiet people do not post photos, it may not mean they want no connection. They may just prefer connection that does not begin with being looked at first. They want to be met in conversation, not consumed as an image online. For some quiet people, the hardest part is not taking the photo. It is the second after. The moment someone says, "Post this one," you look at it and know it is a good picture. The lighting is fine. Your face looks normal. Nothing embarrassing is happening. Still, your thumb does not move, because posting it feels different from keeping it. In your phone, the photo still belongs to the day it came from. It carries the small details only you know. Who was there? What mood you were in? What happened before the smile? What you did not say out loud? Online, that same picture changes jobs. It no longer just remembers something. It starts representing you. People who were not there can study it, compare it, or decide something about your life from one frozen second. That is why privacy can feel like ownership. Not dramatic ownership, just a quiet line saying, "This part of me does not need a public room around it." They may send the picture to one trusted friend and feel fine. But uploading it for everyone feels like placing it somewhere their consent can no longer travel with it. So they keep the image close, not because they are hiding, because some moments feel more honest when they are allowed to remain a little personal. There is another layer underneath this. Some quiet people do not post because their identity does not need public checking. That may sound strange in a world where every update seems to ask, "Do you see me now?" A new outfit becomes a post. A trip becomes a story. A good meal becomes proof that the day was worth noticing. And none of that is wrong. Some people genuinely enjoy sharing. They like letting others into small moments, and that can be warm. But a quiet person may experience the same moment differently. The outfit can feel good without being approved. The trip can matter without becoming a highlight. Even a simple meal can matter without asking the internet to agree that it did. Their sense of self is not always built through reflection from a crowd. It may be quieter than that, more private, more internal. They know what felt good before anyone reacted to it. They know what mattered before it became visible online. So when they do not post, it is not always because they lack confidence. Sometimes it is because the moment already feels complete without an audience at all. If this put words to something you've felt but never knew how to explain, give it a like. It helps this kind of quiet psychology reach the people who need it. This does not mean people who post photos are shallow. That would be too simple and honestly unfair to people who share warmly without overthinking it. Sometimes, posting is joy. A friend shares a sunset because it made them happy. Someone uploads a selfie because they finally felt good in their skin. A family photo can simply say, "This moment mattered to me." There is nothing wrong with that. The difference is what a person needs from the post after it goes up. For some people, the reaction becomes part of the experience. The likes decide whether the photo was good. The silence decides whether the moment was worth sharing. One comment can lift the mood, and one absence can quietly ruin it. Quiet people may not want their inner weather tied to that kind of scoreboard. They know how quickly a face can become a question. Did people like it? Did they ignore it? Did someone look and say nothing? So they step back from the whole exchange, not because they are above it, because they know themselves well enough to understand what they do not want influencing them. Their confidence may not be loud. It may simply be the decision to keep their sense of worth away from numbers that change every hour. There is one part of this that needs honesty. Not posting photos can be a boundary. It can also be a wound. From the outside, both look almost the same. The profile stays quiet. The camera roll stays private. People ask questions, and the person gives a short answer. But inside, the reason can be very different. One person does not post because the photo feels complete without being displayed. Another person does not post because looking at their own face brings something old back. A cruel comment, an awkward angle someone laughed at, a moment when being seen made them feel smaller. Even now, their body may remember what visibility used to cost. That deserves gentleness. Privacy feels steady. There is choice in it. Shame feels tighter. It does not say, "This is mine." It says, "I cannot let anyone see this." A quiet person may need time to understand which voice is speaking. The goal is not to force yourself to post more, not to prove confidence by becoming visible before you are ready. The better question is quieter. Do you keep photos private because it feels chosen? Or because being seen still feels unsafe in your body? There is no need to answer that in public. But answering it honestly to yourself can matter, because a boundary protects your dignity. A wound asks for care, and confusing the two can make privacy feel heavier than it has to be. The internet does not just show a photo. It turns it into data people can react to, compare, or measure. Not always in an obvious way. Nobody has to say anything cruel. The app does enough by itself. A picture with more likes starts looking more important. A face with more attention starts to look more approved. Soon, someone else's ordinary update can make your own ordinary life feel strangely behind. After a while, even a normal photo can start feeling like a test you never agreed to take. Quiet people may sense this early. They know how quickly sharing can become checking. You post, then you look. You look again. You wonder why one person watched but did not respond, why another reacted, why a photo you liked feels weaker because the numbers stayed low. That kind of measuring can make a private life feel strangely public. So some quiet people step away before the loop begins. They do not want a good memory turned into a small report card. They do not want their face placed beside other faces and quietly ranked by an algorithm they never chose. This is not about being better than social media. It is about knowing that attention can change the taste of a moment. Some moments are worth keeping untouched, before the internet teaches them to doubt what already felt real. Maybe the real issue was never the missing photos. It was the assumption that a life must be visible before it counts. Quiet people understand something the internet makes easy to forget. A moment changes when it is placed under strangers' eyes. A joke at dinner can become a caption before the laughter has even faded. A walk by the water can stop feeling like a walk and start feeling like proof that life is going well. Even a face that felt ordinary in your camera can feel different under other people's opinions. That is too much weight for something that was only supposed to remember a day, not ask a crowd whether it mattered or looked good enough. So the quiet person leaves some things unposted, not to disappear, not to act mysterious, just to keep the meaning close to the people who were actually there. Maybe that is the line. You can share your life without making all of it searchable, and you can be known by someone without being displayed to everyone. Send this to the person with a full camera roll and a quiet feed. Thank you for watching until this moment. I'm Can. Subscribe for more videos about introverts, quiet people, and the psychology behind behaviors most people misunderstand. Goodbye, and see you next time.